Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I will show you a thriller movie titled, Bad Sister. Spoiler alert. Watch out and take care. Jason Brady is a young kid known for getting into issues. He is a talented singer, and he plays beautifully, so on his last night at home, he goes on live and plays his guitar. The next day, he resumes the Catholic school alongside his younger sister Zoe, who is much concerned about his well-being. On their resumption day, his father instructs him not to bring along his guitar, but he takes it along. He enters the compound, and they are welcomed by one of the nun sisters called Sister Rebecca. He sees his school crush, Sarah Croft, before joining his hostel. On that same day, a new teacher resumes school. Sister Sophia resumes at Sister Rebecca's office, where Sister Rebecca tells her about their school rules and instructs her not to use makeup at school. Sister Rebecca takes her around the school to show her her classroom and room. On their way, they met Jason. As his habit, Jason is as grumpy as he usually is. Sister Rebecca introduces Jason to Sister Sophia and informs Sister Sophia that Jason is part of his students. Upon arriving at her room, Sister Rebecca unpacks her luggage, which contains several provocative wares. Meanwhile, in Jason's room, his friend teases him about Sarah. Zoe visits the school's chapel to pray for a successful school year for her brother, as she doesn't want him to go through any hardship again. On their first school day, Jason enters the classroom and sits in front of Sarah. As Sister Sophia enters the class, she expects all the attention to be on her, but Jason's attention is on Sarah. She walks towards the duo, who are busy talking and laughing. She angrily changes Sarah's seat and takes her to the front of the class. She attempts to start the lecture, but Zoe reminds her they didn't say the Lord's prayers first. After the class, Zoe sits with her brother and asks him if he notices anything wrong with their teacher, and also wonders why a teacher in a Catholic school forgot to say the Lord's prayers before the class. She sees her brother is distracted, and he is staring at Sarah. She warns him that all he needs at that period isn't Sarah. Jason throws her warning away and walks out. He attempts to go to his hostel. On his way, he meets Sister Sophia, who goes to talk with him to ensure they didn't start on a bad note. She asks him if Sarah is his girlfriend, and he replies otherwise. In Sophia's room, she watches Jason's last video with admiration. The next day, Sarah meets with Jason and tells him she will take her chances with him. She kisses him, and Sophia finds them again. Sophia asks Jason to return to the class and instructs Sarah to wait behind. In a private conversation between Sarah and Sophia, Sarah warns Sophia that her parents are the sole sponsor of the school and that Sophia should stop getting on her bad page, but Sophia replies she doesn't care. She warns Sarah never to go to Jason again. As Sarah leaves, Sophia injures herself with her crucifix. After their class that day, she instructed Jason to visit her quarters in the evening. Sophia wears some provocative lingerie in anticipation of Jason's arrival. She leaves the door half open so Jason can see her body. As Jason gets to the door and sees such views, he returns to his hostel immediately. Throughout that day, he couldn't stop thinking about Sophia's body. The next day, Sophia asks him why he didn't visit, and he tells her he forgot. They are leaving the school for the weekend, and his parents arrive to pick him up. Before leaving, Sarah gives him a goodbye kiss, and Sophia gets jealous. She lies to Sister Rebecca that her aunt is ill and she needs the weekend off. At home, Jason gets into another argument with his father, who instructs him not to be a failed artist like all the typical artists. He leaves the sitting room and goes outside the house to sing his songs. Sophia visits their apartment and watches him from afar. She watches him receive a call from Sarah and how he smiles when taking the call. She leaves there angrily, takes alcohol in her car, then returns to school tipsy. She walks straight to Sarah's room, and although she doesn't know Sister Rebecca is watching her, she enters Sarah's room and puts a piece of marijuana in her history textbook. She comes out of the room and meets Sister Rebecca by the door, but she tells her all is well. Another student sees her inside the room but doesn't say anything. The next day in class, she asks Sarah to open her books, and she takes the drug out. Sarah denies knowing anything about the drug, but no one can prove her words, so she is indefinitely suspended. Sophia suggests that all the rooms should be searched. Before they search Jason's room, she puts a bottle of alcohol under his bed. Father and Sister Rebecca find this bottle, and they threaten to report Jason to his father. He pleads to them that he is innocent and his father will kill him if he hears, so Sophia interrupts, begs on his behalf, and he is released. He appreciates her and then goes to tell Zoe what happened. Following Sophia's last kind words, the father walks with her and asks her about her salvation story. It is revealed that she isn't Sister Sophia. Instead, after she watched Jason's video, she fell in love with him. Then she saw the news of a Sister Sophia transferred to Jason's school. She visits the real Sister Sophia and kills her, then takes her identity to get to the school. Jason has to spend the weekend at school, so Zoe offers to stay at school so she can put an eye on him, and she sees the way Sophia is beside him always. That night, Sophia visits him and hides a camera in his room before going to entice him. He refuses to have intimacy with her because it is wrong, but she tells him she is different, touches him, and they have their first intercourse. The following day, Jason misses his breakfast, and Zoe is concerned. She walks into his room, and she sees Sophia going through her brother's loads. She reports this to Jason, and Sophia gets angry. During the next class, Sophia calls Zoe back and tells her she failed her last test. She asks her to see her after the day's classes to redo the tests. As she leaves the course, Sophia puts the examination answers on the table to implicate Zoe. Zoe visits Sophia the day and sees the answers. She peeps at them, and Sophia enters. Sophia takes her to Sister Rebecca for examination of malpractice. However, due to Zoe's good track record, Sister Rebecca leaves her and gives her the punishment of praying for forgiveness. Jason realizes he is wrong. He goes to the priest to confess his sins, but the priest there is Sophia. She comes to him again, and they have intercourse. It's weekend again, and the Brady siblings are going home. That Friday, the bishop visits the school, and the bishop recognizes the real Sophia. Hence, the fake Sophia picks up her loads and hurriedly leaves the school after telling Sister Rebecca that her aunt is hospitalized. She goes to the front of Jason's home and stays there. At home, Jason receives a text message from Sarah, who asks him to visit her home for a party. He asks his parents for permission, but they refuse to permit him. His father talks about how he is filled with bad tracks rather than finding a college that can accept him. He still wants to go partying. He walks out of the house and goes to Sarah's home while Sophia tails him. Jason stops in the middle of the makeout and leaves. He walks around drunk and is stopped by the police, but Sophia comes to his rescue. She takes him home and changes her cloth to seduce him, but he pushes her off. He says he can't do such and walks away. Meanwhile, at home, his mother speaks to his father about their pushing him too much. His father decides to amend his way, so he goes out to find him, and they reconcile. On Monday, as the kids are about to leave for school, Zoe notices a weird car tailing them. After the first mass that morning, she sees that same car in front of the school and checks the plate number. She browses the number as she enters her room. Jason enters his room and sees Sophia almost dead on his bed. He struggles to help her, and she stands up laughing. He loves her and walks away. Zoe figures the car belongs to Sophia and calls her brother to tell him, but he tells her that's a lie and that if she loves him, she shouldn't do anything. In their next class, Sister Rebecca enters the class. She brings Sarah back into the class. She tells Sophia that Sarah has been proved not guilty by the board. During that class, Sophia sees Sarah flirting with Jason and gets angry. After the class, she locks the door against Jason and warns him to be careful, but Jason tells her she doesn't own him. He goes out and meets with Sarah again. Sophia returns to her room, angry. She goes into the bathroom while Sarah is bathing and hits her head repeatedly on the wall. She throws a soap on the floor to pretend Sarah's death is an accident. Jason figures out what has happened and accuses her of killing Sarah. She shows him their intercourse video and threatens to expose it. It's weekend again, and the Brady family decides to have dinner. Sophia also lies to Sister Rebecca that he is dead. She goes to the restaurant where the Brady have their dinner and finds her way to join the dinner. That night, Sister Rebecca calls the hospital. Sophia told her her aunt was, but to her amazement, Sophia's aunt doesn't exist. As the Brady siblings arrive home, Jason confesses what he did to Zoe, and they plan to invade Sophia's room to find the video. They visit the school that weekend as they watch Sister Rebecca call Sophia. While Sister Rebecca argues with Sophia about her lies, the siblings break into Sophia's room and find out Sophia's real name is Laura, and she is Jason's stalker. Sister Rebecca attempts to call Sophia's former school, so Sophia takes a vase and hits her. The Brady siblings visit the chapel with Laura's real laptop to expose her, but Laura attacks them. She tells Jason that he is the one that made her come and that all the songs he has been singing were for her. She attempts to kill Zoe, and Jason stabs her to save his sister. The movie ends on the siblings' graduation day. Their parent gives Zoe a car to commemorate her milestone and buys one of the most expensive guitars for Jason so he can pursue his dreams. Thank you for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.